And welcome back to Music Free Gaming. I hope you're having a fabulous day. It is Saturday. I actually remembered to unmute my mic. We are doing great. That's sometimes it's the simple things, and I'm definitely failing at the simple things more often than not this week. But today I got the mic going. So hey, we got that going for us. And speaking of things going for us, welcome. Let's play some Minecraft, because that's gonna be fun. So yeah, here we are, back in the village, back in the church with the potion brewer. We're gonna be spending the whole day outside. Okay, I know all of you introverts are now freaking out, like, outside, no. Yes, we're gonna be outside because I need to shovel some snow. Also, I need to build the outside here, but we're gonna shovel some snow. So I built this church with this hill coming up this side and all that. It's great, but the building looks wrong. Okay, it's unbalanced, right? Because this roof comes down this way, this one comes down here and just kind of stops, which isn't great. So we're gonna do some terraforming here. We're gonna clean a bunch of things out and try to at least make this hill and the church and everything here work out nicely. So we'll see. But I need to be sure I'm at the right level. So Y level 92 it looks like. So we'll get that. Hopefully that's going to be the idea anyway. It's going to be a lot of snow. Okay. So anyway, how you doing? Hope we've got a day full of fun, excitement, and or chocolate. I don't know, something cool coming your way. Yeah, all of this is gonna have to come out. I don't have chocolate, but that's probably better for my waist, which is a good thing. I don't know if my waist is a good thing. Let's not be silly about this. Okay, so this is gonna come down this way. I'm just gonna use snow to Alright, so we are gonna come down to here. Do I have a torch? That'll work. Alright, so we need to come down at least this far, and then we'll deal with the rest of it. So yeah, okay. Good to know. Just means we're going to be going this way quite a bit. Now, I don't mind if it goes up a little bit at the far end, but should be okay. I need to update a spam filter. Awesome. Okay. Oh, so much digging. Yeah, the fun part here, or the part that's going to really have to get sorted out, it's not all of the digging to bring this all down. It's what's going to happen with the hill here and terraforming that so that that whole thing looks a bit better. So we'll get all of that figured out. That's going to be a harder process, I think. All right, in the meantime, there's a lot of snow. So much snow. I do still have inventory space, so yay, I guess. Here, I want to come up this way for a minute. I want to see. Oh, yeah. Also, this part kind of sucks. Yeah, see, this is the thing, right? If you're looking at the church from this side, the way the roof stops here, it's just not good. So yeah, we're gonna be bringing this around. So that's 95. I said I don't mind it being up a little bit. This side's up a little bit on that side. So yeah, so we'll make this all happen. It's just going to be a lot of digging and trying to sort this whole mess out. Anyway, let's see. So we'll get... Okay, I guess I don't really need that torch there, do I? Sure. Yeah, whatever. Okay. I just wanted to kick a line out so I kind of had an idea where I was going. But, dang, this is going to be forever. Hey, Mature Gamer, over on Beam. Welcome in, welcome in. Hope you're having a fabulous day. Where am I? Oh, yeah, this is going to be a heck of a trip. All right. How you doing? I hope your day is going well. There we go. All right, so yeah, we're gonna have a heck of a time digging all this stuff out. But that's okay because we are, you know, mighty or something. All right, hang on. I must sleep. I must sleep. Played Hightail. Nice. I tell you, I've got serious FOMO with Hightail. It's not a game that I've been looking at and said, oh, I totally, absolutely, totally had to play this because, you know, I've been waiting for it forever because I haven't been. But man, like every Minecrafter in the world that I watch has been playing Hightail. Except me, and I'm definitely feeling the FOMO a little bit. Are you enjoying it? That's the important question, I guess, with a game. Are you enjoying it? Okay, so yeah, this is all gonna. You know, I thought when I built this, yeah, I don't need to terraform this hill. It'll be fine. We'll just not angle the roof down as far. It'll be great. No, that's not great. So we get a bunch of disorganized digging here. All right. Grab all this snow. I don't know why I'm saving the snow, but I am. Honestly, if I'm going to be digging it out, I might as well save it. I guess. I don't know. I'm a little bit of a digital hoarder in Minecraft. It's hard to be a digital hoarder outside of games, I suppose. Unless you're hoarding like music and or movies or something. It's like they took the little things you wanted in Minecraft and implemented them all. Nice. Yeah, so I've been watching a few people play it, and I can see where some of the fun is. My problem with Hightail is that I don't like exploring in Minecraft. Right? I'm one of those people, I like to just set up camp and then stay there. I don't like to explore. I don't like any of that stuff. And that seems to be what almost all of Hightail is. Which does make it a little bit of a challenge. For me, anyway, to be excited for it. On the other hand, I said I've been watching a bunch of people play it and thinking, yeah, maybe I do want to get into this. So, I don't know. One of these days when I have some spare cash, I may get it, but today is not that day. Tomorrow doesn't look good either. This is what happens when you have 3 kids in college. You have no such thing as free money. You know, if I were smart, I'd have brought a beacon over here. Been doing nothing but mining at the spawn point. Okay. That's fun. Yeah, there's one thing I'm really curious to get sort of see what the take is from those people who are more builders, which is partly why I've been curious about watching people like Good Times with Scars. He's been playing Hightail. Got 2 kids next year, and your oldest is heading to college. Yeah. Yep. Say goodbye to any form of currency you might have had. Because yeah, one of the things I've been a little bit concerned about, and this isn't necessarily a hightail problem as much as anything else. Minecraft is pretty good about allowing you to build in whatever style you want. Okay. Yeah, some of the blocks sort of lean kind of sort of towards that sort of medieval vibe. But you can build modern, you can do all sorts of good stuff, and it works out all right. Hightail, I don't know. I haven't seen enough of how the blocks lay out to understand exactly, are you stuck building in whatever medieval style, whatever you get out of the, the blocks they give you? Or is it going to give you, is the palettes going to give you the flexibility to do a little bit more? Right. So I'm curious about that. But yeah. But anyway, oldest heading to college. That's, it's awesome. I love, as a parent, I love seeing what my kids are going to do next in life, right? I've always been excited to see what the next thing they're into, right? And that's awesome. But on the other hand, it's really expensive. Oh. The kids are paying for a lot of it, but we're making up the difference. And it's scary. It's almost identical to Minecraft. Right. They have an entire bench for buildings and mod integration, and right. And servers are being implemented. Yeah, I was watching. They said it was I think it was the Hermits. Because that's most of the YouTube streamers I watch are hermits, Hermitcraft and stuff, and enjoying the SMP. Boy, they need prox mod. they need a built-in prox voice chat. Honestly, Minecraft needs a built-in prox voice chat. The fact that we're still relying on a mod to do that type of thing at this point is a little silly. I think, yeah, I think it's pretty well established now that if you've got an SMP, having a voice chat would be nice. But yeah, that's the other thing I was actually kind of excited to see was how much they were embracing mods early. Right? Cheese monkeys. It's one of those things, like, I feel like if a game really builds in mod support, and a fully well-featured mod support, it really, really shows how much they're embracing the community. The map system. Okay, yep, maps are good. And the ability to claim land. That I hadn't seen. I hadn't seen how that worked. Yeah, because there are some really good map mods in Minecraft. Heck, I've got one. Oops, that's not the right button. This one. Right? But it's not nearly the same as having one built in. Yep. I probably should have taken the time to set up a beacon. Now I'm not going to because I'm stubborn. Yeah, that's just how this goes. Though in all honesty, I don't think it would work. Sorry, I started mumbling to myself in my mind. It's like Ark Survival and Conan, pretty much. Okay. Looks like that. Okay, nice. Yeah, the one thing, I don't know, it turned me off a little bit when I first saw it, but it's, as I've been watching people play, it's been growing on me a little bit. The world felt like a weird, I don't know, like a weird collaboration between Minecraft and Fortnite. Like it had that same sort of ultra cartoony vibe that Fortnite has. Not that Minecraft is particularly not cartoony, but you know, it's that same sort of feel. And I don't know how else to describe it. But I said I've been watching people play and I'm getting the FOMO, man. Okay, how far out do I need to go? Ah, jeez. Right, I need to come all the way out to right here. I should probably mark that up top so that I know where I'm going. At least the snow is easy. Yeah, you know, and there was a while, and I think I don't know if it was just the popularity of Fortnite, or if it was just because they were all using the same game engine. But for a while, like everything came out looking like Fortnite. Okay. And you know, Fortnite is great for Fortnite. But not everything needs to look like it, you know? And so when I was first seeing a little bit of Hightail and the jeez, we got a lot to do here. Also, I need rockets. Yeah, when I was first seeing gameplay of it, it's like, oh, really? It's another one. Looks, but nope, it's looking better. I don't know why there's string there. I don't think string needs to be there. There are places for string. That is not it. But yeah, it's been looking good. I've been fairly impressed with what I've been seeing, and hopefully, yep, and we're out. Okay. Hopefully it'll keep going. In all honesty, I love the idea of Hightail. I really hope it can succeed. Am I out of chests? Darn it, I don't want to be out of chests. I know. I have in a shulker box back over in the store over there. I have another, it's like a full stack of chests. I just don't want to go over there and dig for it. What's an entire adventure mode? Yeah. And see, again, that was the thing that scared me a little bit about Hightail. Because the thing I don't like about Minecraft is the exploration. Right? Because, in all honesty, if I want to explore, I want to have a purpose. Right? And that's... I liked Breath of the Wild, and I liked Horizon Zero Dawn. Even though it's open world and there's a lot of exploration, there was a purpose to it. And I was a little bit worried with when Hightail came out that I was just going to get stuck with exploring and not really exploring for the sake of exploring, which I don't like. But if they've got some fun stuff, you know, a little bit more of the RPG side of things in there, that's like, yep, we're going to actually make exploring fun and not something you have to do just because if you don't get to have anything. That might be good. Oh, it's separate. Okay. I'm not sure how much I would like that, but good for them, though, if they can get something put together. Yeah, that's... I wonder if that's something like... So Minecraft, you see it especially in the Bedrock side of things, right? They've got their... all of their different DLC experiences and stuff. Like, oh, here's the Star Wars, here's Incredibles, and here's, you know, My Little Pony or whatever else they got going on. And you can download the map and you can play in that world. I wonder if they're going to be doing something similar to that, where it's like, yes, here's our built-in adventure and maybe there's DLC for that and stuff like that. Or here's an entirely new thing. Right, here's our, I don't know, Battlestar Galactica. Just because that seems like a thing that would come out. Here's our Galactica map, or here's our Smurfs map or something. I don't know. But being able to have that sort of adventure. Ooh, that looks scary. Okay. And if they do, that might be a nice way for them to be able to help fund development. Because that's one of the things I know I've worried about with Minecraft a few times. Is like, okay, they charge, what, 25, 30 bucks for the game once. And we've been playing it for, you know, however many years. I mean, Minecraft is, what, 15 or 16 years old now? Which is awesome. I mean, I grew up in a time where, yeah, you could be playing a game for years, but, you know, it was burned onto the cartridge. There was no such thing as updates. If you didn't like it the way it came out, tough. So it's awesome. But you got to be able to fund ongoing development. Ooh, yeah, this is... I put all my sticks away. Of course I did. Cool. Let's see now. It's dark in here. Oh yeah, there's all the darkness in here. Okay. Alright. We're totally fine and stuff and things. He was born 81? Yeah, yeah. You're still younger than me, but not by much. Oh, bouncy through all of the stuff. How did I get in here? Someday I'll remember how I got in. Today is not that day. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I still have my Atari cartridges up on the shelf behind me. So, my Atari and my Nintendo and all of that crazy fun. Yeah. Stone is a little harder than rock, or harder than rock. The stone is harder than rock. Ha-ha! Take that, logic. You know, I don't know what comes out of my mouth some days. It's just, we're gonna hope that someday, as I go through the stream, I'll have something coherent. Yeah, the golden age of gaming. Honestly, we're in a pretty good time right now. As much as I liked the, you know, the games on the Atari and the Nintendo. Super Nintendo was my jam, man. There was some good stuff that came out for the Super Nintendo. But I really like this age of, like Minecraft. It's like, congratulations, you bought it, and you just get to keep playing it. We're going to keep updating it and adding new, awesome, and exciting things, right? I love that. I love that about the world we live in. You know, as much as I'm not a fan of like microtransactions, I do like the idea that you don't necessarily have to be part of the digital gaming have-nots, right? See, well, I can't afford to play all of the games. And, you know, these are all popular stuff, but I can't afford to buy them, right? I remember those days when I was a kid where it's like, okay, I got like one game or a couple of games for my birthday or for Christmas, and that was it. And I got to see everybody else playing whatever. And it's like, well, I can't play that. I can't afford to play that. I want to, right? So seeing some of these games, you know, as much as I've been ripping on Fortnite tonight, or this fine morning, there is something to be said for the free-to-play, as long as you're not dealing with pay-to-win mechanics. Then, you know, it's like, all right, there are a lot of good games that are available now for free, and I like that. So, you know, is it a little bit of a pain? Yeah. Microtransactions kind of suck a little bit, yeah. But on the plus side, it does allow a lot more gamers who said would just not typically have the money to get into everything. Gives them a chance to play some stuff. Like PoE 1 and 2. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, you know, we can do good things for our gaming community, you know? And that's the one thing I think gets left out, because I'll tell you, I'm right there with them when it comes to some of the microtransaction stuff. I mean, I was playing Battlefront, like the Star Wars Battlefront games. Fabulous amounts of fun, but it's like, oh, do you want to play as, you know, Darth Vader? Well, unless you play for 80 hours a week or give us a lot of money, you don't get to. But that got better as it went on, but you know, at least it wasn't too bad. Of course, you still had to pay for that up front too, which I think was the other side of the coin there. But yeah, there are some fun ones. But I'm excited to see Hytale, and I have to admit, from a Minecraft perspective, I want to see Hytale succeed. Because I think what'll end up happening is maybe put a little bit of competitive pressure on Mojang to start doing things like, oh, let's maybe add in-game chat or voice chat as part of the native server experience. Maybe off by default, and a server has to turn it on. I understand Mojang is really hypersensitive about kids and stuff, which is fair. But yeah, exactly, a good disruptor. And so I think what we may see is Mojang. I know Mojang pays attention to the mods that people are playing. They may not necessarily do anything about it. They may look at them and say, yeah, we don't think this makes sense for the base game. Okay, and that's fair. Hopefully my tools will hold out here. But being able to, like, heck, this mod that I'm using here, so I can look inside shulker boxes. You know, that seems like a thing that would be nice to have just built into the game. You know what I mean? Do I need more? I think I'm okay with food for now. I've got 10 carrots. That's enough, right? Sure. Okay. Oh, I should have grabbed some sticks so I can make a few more torches. Oh, well, we'll get to it. But yeah, if Mojang starts seeing some of the success, they may decide to start pulling some of those features into Minecraft, which I think is going to be great. I don't think the combat is going to change too much, right? Hytale's combat, I've heard, is really good. From what the streamers and stuff, the people I've been watching play have been saying is they really like the combat. I don't know how much Mojang is going to be changing the combat here in Minecraft. Does relying on mods is annoying? Yeah. I mean, I was looking at that the other day. This is a vanilla series, or this world is basically a vanilla world. I do have the map mod turned on for those who like maps, and a couple of other things just for quality of life, but they're fairly minor, right? It's stuff that actually I don't even think are bad. Like, I've got the Vanilla Tweaks has a data pack for fast leaf decay. So when you cut down a tree, the leaves decay more quickly, right? I didn't have a problem personally with the slow leaf decay until I was actually just sitting there and just grinding out tree farming. But even then, it doesn't really bother me much. couple of other people on the server really wanted it. So it's like, okay, we can do that. That's a personal taste thing. That doesn't bother me. I don't think that's a Minecraft thing or something that Mojang necessarily needs to fix. But I was going down my mod list the other day. The Armor Poser mod. It's like, is that something that should be built in? I don't know, right? Flashback is 100% a content creator thing. Shaders, whatever. But I start going down some of this list, and it's like, I've got a bunch of stuff. Shulker box labels, and there's the map, and it's like, I start to wonder a little bit. It's like, am I over modding my vanilla experience, you know? That vanilla plus, how much am I plussing here? Am I plussing a little bit too much? You know what I mean? But, yeah, knocking the block at the bottom of the tree, yes. I wonder, now I think that doesn't happen if you've placed the blocks by hand, correct? That's one of the things because I've played with a couple of mods in Minecraft that do that. But there's always the danger of that's on, and then you cut a log on your house, and it tears down half your house. That happened to me once. That wasn't great. On the other hand, I really like playing with the create mod in Minecraft. And I can understand why create isn't part of the vanilla thing, why it never will be. It makes me sad because I really like create and I think it would be awesome, but it has that feature, right, where you cut down the bottom of the tree, but you have to use the create mechanical saw to do that. So, okay, that makes sense. And it makes sense from the gameplay perspective of create mod, but yeah, there are a few of those types of things like, oh, this is a big tree. Well, that's cool. I still have to chop down about 10 blocks because it's wider on the base, but then the whole tree comes down. Yeah, I can see that being something that Mojang may want to look at for Minecraft. On the other hand, I could see them saying, you know what? Minecraft is a block-by-block game. And so except for the specific gravity blocks, right? Sand and gravel and stuff like that, that's not the approach we want to take. And I can understand the logic of that, okay? Yes, I would love to be able to cut down the 4 blocks at the base of a giant spruce and have the tree fall on me. Okay, maybe not fall on me, but at least have the blocks drop. But I can fully understand the gameplay logic of Minecraft is a block-by-block game. You act on individual blocks, not structures. Right? Whether that structure is a building or a tree or something. Okay. Now, again, I do kind of like that idea of I'm just going to chop the tree down from the base, but I understand the logic. I worry now. Minecraft combat is just. I'm not to say the combat is weird, but they're balancing all sorts of weird things, and I'm not entirely sure how that's all going would fly if they were going to start taking inspiration from Hytale or any number of other games. Okay, I am just drowning in blocks. You know, it turns out when you tear down a hill or a mountain or anything, you end up with a lot of blocks in your inventory. I know, weird, right? So yeah, I don't know. And I'm not entirely sure, at least recently, I'm not entirely sure how comfortable Mojang actually is with the combat aspect of the game. You know, when it started, the PvE experience was what it was. Right? You're going to be attacking skeletons and zombies and all this good stuff. Attacking and being attacked by, right? And yes, we'll have PvP on because PvP can be fun. But combat in Minecraft always feels like it's sort of a secondary thing, maybe? I don't know if that's the right way of thinking about it, but it does feel like it's kind of secondary to what Mojang is wanting to do. So I don't know if they're going to take some of the some of what we've been seeing from Hytale with the, oh, here's the different weapons and all of that stuff, and doing different things with it. The weather outside is frightful. Heck, I've been complaining to them off and on over the years about the crossbow. I really want the crossbow to be better. Right? From a historical perspective, a crossbow and a longbow were relatively the same stopping power. Crossbows were easier to shoot, which was awesome. Slower to reload, of course. But yeah, if the game doesn't evolve, it becomes stale. Yeah. And they've helped Minecraft evolve, but combat was not one of the ways they've done it. Again, I'm not entirely sure if that's a gameplay choice. Like, because I could easily see them making the development decision of combat is not a core focus of what Minecraft is, so we're not going to dive into it much. I gotta open this up. I like bouncing back and forth between the sides of the hill. I really do. That's my favorite thing ever. But not really. But yeah, crossbows. Why can't I put the flame enchantment on a crossbow, right? This goes quite a ways down here, doesn't it? Okay, there's water. I think we're all spawn proof, at least to this point. Do you get to that point, it's a different question, but the rest of it's okay. Ooh. Get that elytra hop going. But yeah, I'd like to be able to put, you know, mending or I guess I can put mending. I'd like to be able to put infinity on a crossbow, right? I'd like to put, you know, what is it? Is it flame? I think is the enchantment. I'd like to put that on a crossbow. But no. Now there are some things you can do with crossbows you can't do with bows. You can launch rockets and stuff like that. And that's actually kind of fun. It's actually my preferred way of dealing with trial chambers. Let's see. So that box is almost full. Trial chambers are so much nicer to deal with when you've got a multi-shot crossbow. Because, dang, you can just take out everything. Even the breeze, your arrows bounce off of it, right? But you know what doesn't bounce off a breeze? Explosives. Yes, 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 yes. So yeah, taking a multi-shot crossbow into a, and especially if you happen to have blast-resistant armor, that's also a plus. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Sorry, I'm just looking at the shape of this hill. We'll worry about terraforming this in a minute, or in a couple of minutes. Let's at least get the shape of this area dug out, so I can then bring the roof of the church down, and then we're going to take a look at what's going to happen with the rest of this hill. Okay. Oh, but yeah, so I'd like to get some of those enchantments on crossbows and things like that, but I know I was gonna say I'm weird because I might be one of the only people in the world who actually prefers using a crossbow. But I don't, because I can't get a crossbow that's as powerful as a bow. Hey, Chair, how's it going over there on the YouTubes? Hope you're having a fabulous day. Welcome in, welcome in. But yeah, it's like, why can't I put power 5 and okay, I could see arguments that, okay, punch is a bow thing, piercing is a crossbow thing. Okay, I could see that. Make your choice. But why can't I put power 5 and flame on a crossbow, you know? That would be awesome. I would love that. Okay. Oh, my pickaxe is not loving this. That's okay. That is okay. So, basically, yeah, so this is all going to dig down this way. Infinity in a crossbow. Yeah, exactly. So I would love to make a crossbow my ranged weapon of choice. I mean, between quick charge and all of that stuff, man, crossbows aren't bad. It's just dealing with all the things you don't have on a crossbow. I can decide that maybe infinity isn't the way I want to go, but why can't I have infinity on a crossbow? Right? Maybe it's not compatible with multi-shot. Okay, cool. I can live with that. That seems like a reasonable trade-off to make. But really, I would like to have some of those other enchantments that make bows really nice that I just can't get on a crossbow. And I have no way of even if I wanted to mess around with rockets, which, to be honest, I really like. I can't equal the power from a crossbow that I can get with a bow. And that's one thing I feel like the balance there is wrong, and I don't know if or how Mojang wants to deal with that. I realize I have now made a horrible mistake. You would like rockets in a bow. Okay. See, I can understand some of those types of changes, right? You know what? I think this is going to be one of those cases where I start from the bottom. I just have to figure out where the bottom is going to be. Okay, so I do know. Oh, those aren't brick. Those are just polished. Darn it, I've got the wrong stairs. Excuse me just a moment. I have to go replace my stairs. Yeah, see, I can understand that you can say, all right, if you want to launch rockets, you have to use a crossbow. But that's right, I can get that. But at least let me am I gonna need more stairs than that? We'll stick with that. At least let me be able to fire arrows in a way that means I don't have to carry a bow and a crossbow, right? Because with a bow, you can kind of one-shot mobs, right? I mean, okay, with flame, maybe that's you have to wait for them to burn a little bit before the one-shot kicks in, but still. Okay. But still, you shoot a creeper, you shoot a skeleton with a power 5 flame bow, and they go away. They cease to become a problem. Okay. I'll dig all of this stuff out in a bit, but let's see. So basically this row right here is where I need to be bringing my stairs down. But yeah, I would like that. I would like to be able to say, you know, let's shoot the arrows out of the crossbow and be able to one-shot mobs just like a regular bow. You know, wouldn't that be nice? Okay, and yes, you could totally say that some enchantments, like flame, for example, isn't compatible with multi-shot. It's like, okay, I could deal with that. Or piercing, right? Right, I can go with some of those changes, and then that gives me an option to make a choice of how I want to deal with things. But right now, my choice is don't use a crossbow, or just get used to having to shoot mobs 8 different times, because that's pretty much your only option. Okay, and okay, it's not 8, it's 3, but still, there's nothing I can do to shorten that. Even with rockets, if I set up, you know, full on, what is it? Power, there's like flight duration 3 rockets. I still can't one-shot a mob with them. So yeah. Yep. So that's one thing, and I'm hoping maybe as Hightail, you know, as it grows. Yeah. You know, I could actually do this from this side. It's okay. Yeah, as Hightail grows and becomes more feature complete, I'm really hoping that Mojang will see some of what they're doing and pull some of those features in, because I really do think there's some aspects of Minecraft that have been well, as Mature Gamer was saying, you know, depended on mods to make the game, it's not necessarily playable, but modern, maybe is the way to put it. And that includes things like a map, right? I know there are Minecrafters out there who look down on people who use coordinates. It's like, why aren't you just using the built-in maps and compasses and all of this stuff? And now that lodestones are actually cheap enough to build, I can understand some of that, but it's like, why? I mean, every game in the world out, it seems like it's coming out, has a map. Why doesn't Minecraft have a built-in map system? And you can still have the paper maps, right? I still use maps for decoration, and of course map art is a thing. I don't do that myself, but I know lots of people do. Though I am sorely tempted to set up a map art area in the end. It's possible to redirect some of the where the respawn or the teleport beacons generate when you kill a dragon. And so you can have one just out in the middle of the void and have this beautiful transparent pixel art area. And I think that would be cool. Something I'll have to look into when I've got the tuits to want to do it. Unfortunately, I at this point just do not have enough tuits, round or otherwise. Oh, right. Ah, cheese monkeys. Okay, so we're coming off this line right here. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff I would like to see. Yeah, pixel art in the end, it works really well. So there's a, because if you place, I think you just put down clear glass over the void, it shows up, there we go. It shows up invisible on the map, which is really cool. Which then allows you to do some really cool things with map art. That's not where that goes at all. So yeah, having a designated map art area in the... wow. That just was silly. Anyway, having a designated map art area in the end where I can... where I or other server players can hop on and say, we're going to do this, and if we want something transparent, that's a thing. Otherwise, you just keep building it out like you would anything else, where it's like, all right, here's the carpet and the whatever other blocks you're using to make your map art. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to come in underneath that. I'll have to double check the other side. I don't think I don't think I filled in underneath the polished stairs. I think that was a deliberate choice to add a little bit of extra texture and stuff coming down here. Now this side, I do have to come out one more. Oh, before I do that, do I have enough stairs? I don't. Got 18. That's probably enough to get halfway up. But as we've learned from the Grand Old Duke of York, who had 10,000 men, he marched them up the hill, and then he marched them down again. You know, we do learn that when you're up, and when you're down, but when you're only halfway up, okay, you're neither up nor down. And that's just something we need to sort out over here. So I don't want to be neither up nor down. I want to be all the way up or down. Okay. Sorry, that was one of those songs we used to sing all the time when I was a kid. There were actions and stuff that went with it too. Mostly, you know, going up and down. That's right. Yeah. All right, and then that sidewalk's gonna have to go. But yeah, I think we're doing mostly okay. This side, actually, you know what? Looks like I went solid. Yeah, until I hit whatever this area is here. Yeah, it looks like I went solid. Okay. That's cool. All right, I can make that happen. And by solid, I mean I used the tile stairs under there. Okay. All right, well, and I think I'm actually down a block too low here because I need to get some stone bricks. And I need to figure out where everything is, but fortunately, I now have a crazy amount of stone, so let's get the sidewalk in place. And once that's there, I can sort of figure out where everything else is going. Also, I might need to take a quick break and put on a sweater. I am annoyingly cold. Which is especially annoying because I just took my sweater off before I got started. Oh, man. It's, hang on. Putting on my, that's a problem for future me hoodie. Sadly, this one's not available, but there are other great hoodies over in the Music for Gaming store, so check that action out. All right, stairs. Oh, I've got cobblestone. I need some cobble. One of these. Oh, look at all this brick that I've got there that I could have. So much stone and other nonsense. Ah, there we go. Let's grab a little bit of cobble. Okay. this will work. So, actually, I'm going to need a lot more cobble. Hi, I would like this box. Yes. Some more of your cobblestone, please. Thank you. Oh, right. You've got no money. That's fair. I don't either, which is also why I'm not playing Hightail. If I had an extra 20 bucks lying around, I probably would be. Because, you know, I'm getting serious FOMO with Hightail. Because, yeah, I said I've been seeing a lot of people playing it, and it's been interesting enough that it's like, all right, I can maybe sort of want to get into this. Okay. All right, so we're going to come out this way, and then 3 here. And you can see where the other sidewalk, yeah, that I'd put in just sort of didn't happen. Yeah. All right, so we'll get this out, and I need to figure out where how far over oops, zipping through here, sorry. So it looks like we come all the way over to this other line of brick. Okay, and then we're out. Okay, cool. That's easy enough. All right, so let's go ahead and clean this out. We'll move the sidewalk down here. I'll have to go get some frog lights, but it's all right. I've got them. Actually, I've got my ender chest on me, so could just pull them out of there. But yeah, well, I just need to get all of this cleaned up and moved because I don't like that. I just didn't like how unbalanced this building looked, especially on the far side, because it was like that side that's got the stained glass window on it, because it just felt stumpy. Right, you had the one side that comes all the way to the ground. There. Right, you had this one side here that went all the way to the ground, and then this side stopped right there, and it just, the whole building kind of felt like it was leaning, even though it wasn't. No, that was a choice. Okay. That was a choice. So, yeah. So, being able to extend the roof down this way. Obviously, I need to continue extending the roof down, but the building looks a lot better than it did before. And so what I'm going to do, and I'm not sure how much we're going to get done today, but I'd like to shape this hill a little bit so that it's not quite as much of a cliff right here. So I want to carve this back some and hopefully shape this so that it looks like this building is just nestled in nicely. Okay. That's the hope and dream. Also, I've been thinking about this build and the diorite. Yeah. I may really have to go hunt up some calcite and replace that, but anyway, what was I doing? Oh yeah, sidewalk. Hi. I'm easily distracted by shiny objects. How are you? Okay, so we'll get all of this in. You know, I used to make that joke, you know, about being easily distracted by shiny objects. And now I realize that that's actually a thing. That's like an ADHD type thing. It's like, oh, yeah, okay. Having grown up in the 80s, it's like, oh, they didn't have a name for that. Now they kind of do. And I don't want to say I kind of wish I had known. Actually, what I wish is I had better understanding of what that meant and how I should be able to, or how to adjust how I do things to take it into account. All right. All right. I don't fall down the autism spectrum that much, but then again, let's see. I don't need the slabs here. So, okay. I think my kids, on the other hand, just got 2 unskippable ads. Oh, man. I haven't run into... when I get the unskippable ones, they tend to be, 15 seconds. It's like, okay, that's annoying, but not too bad. It's when they get longer than that. It's like, oh, yeah. Okay, that goes away. Hey, you know what would be great? Not leaving torches in the middle of the sidewalk. That would be awesome. All right, and then we come across here. All right, and I really should come up with some way to bring this all over. Okay, I think, yeah, that's actually snow right under there. Is this? I think I should bring this out here a little bit too. The sidewalk should at least come out to where the bench is. Is that a problem? Not sure what what you were referring to. What you were referring to. There we go. I can enunciate. Enunciation is a thing. Yeah, it looks like I brought this down a little bit. Oh, snow on the bench. Yeah, it won't be an issue. Said I could bring... Actually, I'm going to do this. Let's go and take this out. I won't get snow accumulating on the bench because, well, for 2 reasons. One, it's it's protected, right? It's underneath all of the stairs and stuff here. But 2, it's all slabs and stuff. So I won't have to worry about that. Oh, that snow doesn't exist. Little Z fighting there. That's fine. I've got a I have a mod that makes dealing with snow layers and some of the curviness a little bit better. But every once in a while you get something like this where it's going to auto fill in a little bit of snow. And yeah, we get some weird Z fighting there, but it's okay. Right. Right, he's fine. All right, so this is going to go this way. So what I need to do then, all of this is going to move. Okay. Where's my... before I cut that down, it'd be nice if I had some inventory space to hold it. Where's my axe? And my axe. Okay. All right, so this would all come out. And just to be sure, I know where the heck this is all going. Hang on. So that is the space behind the stairs. Okay. So right here. Where's that log? Okay. Right, so that goes there. Same thing on this side. We get... I dug this down too far. But that's okay. I did need to know where I was going to be putting things, so he's fine. Right, so this is all going to come up that way. Okay. And so this will all push back. Do I have space in my inventory for slabs? I don't. Okay. yeah, so this will all push back so it'll match what's happening on the other side. I'm going to have to go mangrove tree farming here soon because I need a lot of mangrove and I don't have any. Yeah, that's a thing. Okay, so we're coming in right here. And right here. And right here. I think what I might do is I might actually come in with some snow and stuff here too. And just fill that back in with snow. We'll see what happens as I terraform this hill, okay? But this is the general idea. Okay. I believe these come back. Yeah, this comes back behind the log. Okay, like so. That doesn't stay there. Okay, and then the honey, excuse me, the honey will go on top of it. Like that, okay? Right, so it just sort of fills in this gap. And there's some stuff that goes behind it, but that's the general idea. Which... Alright, if I had inventory space, I would do something about it. Aha! That'll show you. Alright, let's see. I need some frog lights. All the frog lights. Okay, maybe not all the frog lights, but a couple of them would be nice. Alright, so, as I said, the frog lights go back behind the logs here. Now, I'm fairly certain I have enough spruce to pull the rest of this off. It's just the mangrove that I'm lacking. Okay, so that goes there. That goes there. Mangrove, and I don't remember what the actual seats were, so we'll figure that out here in a minute. All right, so that all comes out, or at least some of it comes out. All right. All right, so yeah, I'll have to go and just double check what's happening on the other side, make sure everything matches. Cool. Hang on, I must create yet another shulker box. Hang on. Wow, I am really bad at this whole inventory thing. Okay. There, now I can pick up stuff. You know, this is one thing I miss, and it's one of the reasons I wanted to come back when I was done with Create Mod and come back to this world, was that I didn't want to start over, you know? And I'm at a point where it's like, oh, I need shulker boxes? Yeah, I have all the shulker boxes. I don't have to worry about that even a little bit. Yeah, because I have infinite shulker shells. Wood is the thing that holds me back on shulkers now. Okay. So we can fill this in. And yeah, because this is going to be coming down here. So if let's grab a little bit of snow, which I know I'm going to be shaping this back. But I want to get a little bit of the snow here because the snow is going to be coming back like so. Okay. So this layer is actually where I need to be. All right, so go ahead and cut out this little bit here. Ah, too much, way too much. He's full of much of tattoos. You have too much do's, you end up using lots of toilet paper. It's the way of things. It's just how it goes. I do not recommend having that problem. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna basically be bringing snow under here. Okay. Right, so this all slides over here like so. Good news is I have like 18 shulker boxes full of snow, so they're not on me, of course. Yeah, see, so this hill is going to come down a little bit. Right, so we'll shape this down this way a touch. Yeah, I think if I were to kind of slice this back a little bit, I think that'll be good. Yeah, this'll all come down here. I need to fill in some sandstone there. Awesome. Okay, but then we can sort of bring the snow this way and fill in. Okay. Well, that's definitely a thing. Here, let me sleep and then we can see what else is going to happen here. Obviously, I've got a lot of stuff going on there, so. All right. Let's see. All right, so one of these things has got lots of snow. All right, we'll grab this one because I'm gonna have to fill in and then refill. This guy's empty. All right, I'll take an empty shulker. We can make use of that. This one, load all of that happy goodness into. All right, actually, before I head off, I'm going to take a quick bio break, and I will be back in just a moment. Okay, so I have 5 villagers trapped. I've got a wild nitwit. Okay, which is a thing that happens. It's not unlike just being on social media, you know, it's just get wild nitwits everywhere. Okay, I am back. And I remember to unmute the mic, so hey, we're doing okay. So let's, I want to grab a few sticks. Where did I put some sticks? There we go. I was just thinking that maybe some torches would be helpful. I don't know how they'll be helpful, but you know, I I hope that will be. All right, so here's where we get stuff. So snow is going to fill in here. And I'll end up covering up some of that snow as well, but that's okay. Let's just go ahead and fill it in. As I said, I have a lot of snow. And I'm about to get a lot more, so I'm not concerned with the snow. This one. All right. We'll grab a couple. Should be fine. All right, so we'll have snow here, and I could come in and fill in some layers. We'll have the benches and stuff eventually. Eventually, we will have places to sit, but until that time, you'll just have to stand or go around to the other side of the building. That's just how this is going to work. Sorry, we don't want you sitting on our backside. You know, that's seems reasonable to me, I guess. All right. Back. No. Okay. All right, so we'll have snow that comes out this way. All right, so if I'm going to shape this, right, terraform this a little bit, we'll shovel the snow back here. Oh, looks like we've got some friends. Great. All right, so we'll bring this back this way a little bit, okay? Probably back roughly to here. Okay, now this area is a little flat. Okay. Right, so we'll end up bringing some snow in here. Let's go ahead and just put this down. Okay. Actually, I guess snow is infinite, so I don't have to worry about keeping it. I'm going to, because I'm just weird like that, but I don't have to. All right, so goes there. All right, so yeah, so we'll have snow come down this way, and I'll deal with this in a little bit. But that's the idea. Yeah, I really should get myself another beacon and, you know, deal with that a little bit. Okay. So if we're going to come down this way, do you want to trim this back just a little bit? So this is where things get a little bit funky as far as how this is all going to get shaped out and stuff. I'm glad I don't have to worry about killing the pillagers. Right? Aside from the fact that these guys are just sort of wandering off. Okay. They're all down there now, which is good for them, I guess. I like that I don't have to worry about starting raids and stuff over here. That would be awkward. I don't think there's a lot that would be... No, there would be stuff that would be damaged, but like, you know, the leaves and stuff, some of the grass and things. But I don't think they can get in at the villagers and all of that stuff, so. All right, so let's take a look here at what this hill is going to look like. So what I might need to do here is go free camp for a minute just so we can look at the hillside. Well, maybe not. This isn't bad. So I don't want to make it any lower at the top, okay? I like where that is because I like this sort of valley, right? I want this lovely cold, icy embrace of this little valley for the village to be nestled into, okay? That's part of the fun here, right? Okay, so here's the thing, though, is that this kind of sucks. So, am I planning on doing a Christmas tree? Well, I did one inside the snow globe. I don't know that I'm going to do one out here, but I do have one inside the snow globe. I know we are planning on putting in a skating rink, and I'm kind of leaning towards putting it over here. We'll see. Snoopers has been doing some of the landscaping. She's been the one who got most of the roads in and has been getting the lanterns and stuff around, which is cool. They look so good. I like those. But I probably will not be putting a Christmas tree out here. Because I don't want this village to necessarily be Christmas town, right? I want a winter village, right? Christmas was definitely on my mind as I was thinking about this. But I want it to be sort of a year-round Christmas thing, right? Or at least non-denominational. I don't know. Maybe that's the way to go. Okay, so let's take a look at what's happening here. I think I can shave off this little bulbous bit that's up here. I think I can shave that down and help ease this curve. Okay, where things are going to get... Yeah, because I might be able to do that. We may end up with a little bit of a cliff, and that's okay. That's okay, as long as I can decorate it appropriately. We might be all right. Okay, well. Right in. I am going to be building in some custom trees, though. I may not decorate them for, you know, for a Christmas feel, but I think some custom spruce or pine type trees are going to be really nice here. Because really the village is looking a little bit bare at the moment. Which, you know, there aren't a lot of houses or anything for there to be, but, you know, that's fine. But adding a couple of custom spruce trees in and around here, I think would be good. Like, this is a perfect candidate for a tree to remove the natural, I guess, Minecraft tree and build something better. Also, what I need to do is around the back side here, which I need to get some more rockets, but back here, I need to cover this whole area with snow. Because it's throwing off the vibes, man. It's like, oh, Christmas village. Oh, look, here's a plains where everything is bright and green and cheerful. Okay, cheerful is fine, but bright and green in the middle of my winter village is not quite what I had in mind. That over there is probably fine. This here, I think needs to go. Yeah. I'm going to need a lot of snow. Actually, what I'm going to need is some snowmen. And if I put some snowmen on leads and just walk them around here, so I basically paint snow layers on top of this, I think it's going to be good. But anyway, let's take a look at what's happening over here, though. Yeah. Oh, yeah, snowmen are fun. Okay, so I need to trim this down quite a bit, actually. So let's take a look at up here. And again, I don't want to cut I don't want the top of the hill to be any lower. Oh. That's a fun cave. All right. All right, I don't want this hill to be any shorter than it is. So what I'm going to do is let's just bring this down this way a bit. Okay. And I'm just going to sort of dig out a little bit of a line here. Something, maybe a little, it's going to be a chaotic line. It's going to be sort of a scribbly line, but that's fine. Now let's bring this down here and kind of see where we get. Okay. Yeah, so if I bring it down, honestly, I'm almost thinking that if I were to take this down to the stone that's here, that might just be about the right shape. That might be. We'll have some areas we'll have to work on, but that might be okay. All right. So let's take this scribble that I shoveled out, and we're gonna take it west, and let's just see what this sort of ends up looking like. And right now I'm making a mess. I'm gonna have to come in and clean it up anyway, but I think we'll be good. So yeah, there'll be definitely some places where we'll put some snow back, and there'll be places where I'll probably come in with snowmen and just paint over with snow layers and stuff. I'm not sure I want to get hyper crazy with the snow layers. It's really easy to go full Corrales and just totally shape the hillside in 1/8 block increments. And while that was cool for Corrales, which he did that in the last season of Hermitcraft. Season, was it 10, I guess. That's going to be a little bit much for me, so I don't think I'm going to spend that much time on it. And, oh yeah, lots of snow. Okay. All right, empty shulker. Okay, we do have one. Perfect. Keep that handy. All right. Yeah, Corrales did some cool stuff with a frozen biome, like a nice tundra biome, and he built like an Arctic lab or something. It was really cool. But he was out there placing snow layers to get it up and shape it the way he wanted to, and I don't want to go that crazy. Partly because I also, if I were to do that, I would have to do that all the way around the valley. Like this whole area, I'd have to do that, and I really don't want to do that. That would be a little bit much. So that's a thing that's not going to happen. Yeah, there are lots of things that's not going to happen. That is absolutely one of them. We're not doing that. Okay. But that's okay. Sometimes things need to not happen, and this is definitely one of them. Where am I at? Okay. Not too bad then. So this is all sort of meandering out this way. Okay, let's take a look at this hill. All right. Yeah, if I bring this around like so. Or like snow. Yeah. Snow. I don't know how that would go. I was about to dive into the Sound of Music and what is that Do Re Mi song? Yeah. Okay. All right, so if we bring this out and around this way, yeah, because this is going to come through here. Okay. All right, grab that torch again, because I do need to be sure that this is not spawnable. Right now, that's not an option. The whole hill is a mess, but again, we'll get to that. The nice thing is, you can, if you're careful about it, you can hide light under snow layers. You just have to be real careful about what type of layers you do. because bright light will melt the snow layers. But if you slip in some powdered snow and some other things, you can make it work. All right, anyway, let's take a look at the shape of this hill. Honestly, that's not too bad. If I cut this back a little bit more, I can smooth out this angle. So it'll be a little bit steeper, a little bit of an avalanche danger, but all in all, I think it's going to be okay. So let's come up on this side. All right, hang on. I gotta deal with my snow situation, and I also have to deal with some rockets, i.e. the lack of them. I did make more rockets the other day, so I'm okay with those. Just hang on. Goes in there. All right. So I think the plan here is we'll come up, yeah, from this side. Because we've got this big steep thingy happening over here. So what I want to do is I want to come down basically off this level and just run it down that way a bit. Okay. So if I come from here, all right, and I'm going to run down this way. So this might make more sense. Will it make more sense if I do it from the side? Probably. At least I'll be able to see it better. That would be a plus. And we'll see how far down I need to go. Okay. Yeah, terraforming is a thing. This is why I didn't want to do this. That's why I was just gonna have the side of the church be what it was. But nope, I just didn't. The other thing I didn't do, and I should have, was take a screenshot or something of what this hill looks like before I got started with this, so I can sort of show the transition between the two. But that would have been smart. And I also don't have flashback running, so I don't even have that option. Now I'm stuck down in the cave. All right. I'm actually kind of wondering if I want to do something with this ravine. I don't know. I might. Standing here in my ravine, I forgot the melody of the sun. That was one of those songs that surprised me. It was Ace of Base. I think it was their second album. It's the album that had A Beautiful Life on it. Also had the song Ravine, which was really good. I liked it. Surprised, because it was really kind of chill. And I knew Ace of Base as being, high energy dance, from, Beautiful Life. Of course, the sign is kind of not that crazy. So maybe I shouldn't have been surprised, but I really did like it. It was a good song. All right, so again, one of those many songs I rediscovered when I was going through my music over the holiday. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna bring this hillside down. Whoops! Look, bringing it down, here or something. That's probably too low right there. It's okay. Down it goes. Speaking of things going down, I was really excited the other day to see that they're putting a bunch of the old Sesame Street episodes up on YouTube. Now, why am I, a 47-year-old man, excited about Sesame Street? It's because the new Sesame Street kind of sucks, and it's cool to go back and have some of those old episodes up from back when it was still good. Right? Because it used to be, yes, it taught kids how to, count and their ABCs, and actually even learn how to read a little bit. My oldest kids, when they were little, they loved Sesame Street, and I, as a parent, also loved it because, one, it was just good fun, but also it actually taught the kids how to read, and that was amazing. I was watching it the other day after my I was home for one reason or another. I don't remember what it was, but my youngest kids were watching Sesame Street. I realized they really butchered this show. It is not nearly as good as it used to be. At least not, and not nearly as educational. Yeah, so I think this will work. If I bring this back. Yeah, I think this will work. Let's get this curve in place here a little bit. But there were some really good episodes of Sesame Street for various reasons. One of the ones they said explicitly is going to be there was one that was, I'm not going to say it was controversial, because there wasn't a lot of controversy about it. It was just, it was a bold choice, and I think it was a good one. So Sesame Street, when it started, was obviously, it was a street, and you had the people in your neighborhood, right? And it was a relatively typical New York street, right? So you had your apartments around there, right? And that's where Bert and Ernie and Olivia and everybody lived, and Big Bird had his nest in a little alleyway thing, right? It was all fun and stuff. But central to Sesame Street, it was tucked in, I think it was at a corner of the street, was Mr. Hooper's store, right? You had Hooper's store, and you had, there was a little area that was not, it was a little, I was going to say like a concrete playground. Hi, guys. Hang on. These people want to shoot me, and I think they're weird. I mean, lots of people are weird. That in and of itself is not a problem. The fact that they want to shoot me kind of is, though. Come here, guys. Come with me. Come with me. You're going to love it over here. That's right. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Oh, now. Let's not go with the shooting. All right, now somewhere. Oh, actually, it was over on this side. That's right. Come on, this way. Oh, what happened to all the powdered snow? Okay, maybe we don't have powdered snow anymore. All right. Well, then. Since we're lacking the powdered snow to make these guys go away. Okay, there we go. I was hoping just to drag them into some powdered snow and let them go, but it looks like that all got replaced. Snoopers must have been doing some cool stuff. Anyway, yeah, so you had Hooper stored. You had said it was a little bit of an open space. So that's where they had sometimes, they'd have kids out there playing ball or whatever, just in this little cul-de-sac almost. Well, I said Hooper's store was a huge thing, and Mr. Hooper was one of the main characters of the shows. Big Bird was talking to him all the time, right? Because a lot of things happened in Hooper's store. That's where Cookie Monster would often get cookies and all of that stuff. Well, the actor who played Mr. Hooper died, right? I mean, he was an old man. It happens, right? So that was then the question of, all right, what do we do with Sesame Street? I mean, there was no danger of canceling the show. It's just, how do we address this in universe? Okay, I don't think getting shot in the back with a crossbow is the appropriate way of dealing with the death of a character on Sesame Street, but, you know, obviously they know better. I don't know, know differently. Who knows? Anyway, it's like I may have to take a trip to the Enderman farm. Anyway, so they're talking about that. It's like, hey, do we recast and not say anything about it at all? What do we do? And they made the decision, and said it was a bold decision. Okay. And it definitely got a lot of people talking. So it wasn't necessarily a controversy other than, do we really want to be doing this? But the decision was, what if we just say that Mr. Hooper died in universe? And now we're going to explain that to Big Bird. And that was said. Controversial, might be a little bit too strong. But it was one of those choices of, hey, kids do have to deal with death, right? Not all of them, fortunately. But a lot of kids have to deal with death. You know, family members die, right? Whether it's grandparents or parents or even friends and other things, right? It sucks, but it's part of reality. So what if we address that here on Sesame Street? Okay, I'm going to need another shulker box. I'm going to continue to hang on to this snow. All right, well, we'll keep going. Once my inventory's full, we'll go back and deal with it. And so that was that episode of, hey, here's Big Bird. He was all excited. He drew a picture of Mr. Hooper or something, and he was going to go show it to him. And Mr. Hooper had passed. And so now you've got Bob and Maria and I don't know who else was doing, Luis or somebody. Oh, that inventory filled up fast. Now explaining to Big Bird about death, and yeah, it was a hard episode. It was a bold choice, but I think it's just one of those that was like, yeah, okay. Sesame Street does teach good things about, you know, numbers and counting and being nice to each other, and don't eat all your cookies like Cookie Monster, all right, and all of that stuff, right? On the other side of it was very much the, yeah, we can, Bad Omen 5. Well, that's definitely a thing. Here, let's stick that up here. Okay. Where are the shulkers in my neighborhood? Okay. Alright, so we'll grab a couple of shells. Alright, one new box. Great. I think I'm going to make a couple of those, but also, yeah, this one will just put the dirt and stone and stuff in there that we're collecting. Also, I really don't need that banner, but am I going to throw it away? No. Oh, that would be, I want to hoard things. It's fun. Okay. All right, so we've got those. That one is actually not quite full. Let's go ahead and just fill that up the rest of the way. Okay. All right, so these two are going to go with me. All right, but before we do that, let's head out to the Enderman farm and see about fixing up this pickaxe. Alright. I need a better, maybe a closer way to get into the end from here. There is another portal, right? If I go into the city, I can cut through the nether, but it's like way out there somewhere, and it's harder to get to. So I'm just going to fly out. I opened up a second end portal that's sort of out this way. So we're gonna head to that. Why are you all shiny? Oh, because there are torches on it. That's why it's shiny. Okay, so let's see now. Yeah, this portal should be the end right here. It's also a trial chamber, which is handy. Alright, so... yeah, because you go through here, and there's a trial chamber right there, but... today, we're going to hop through here, so... alright. Alright, so let's go ahead and not fall into the void. That would be helpful. Do I have my sword on? I actually do have my sword on me. Awesome. Alright, I believe I've got hostile mob sounds turned off, so this should be nice and quiet. Alright. So time to repair the tools. I like this farm. It's not, I mean, you'll see a lot of the farms where they'll drop the Enderman down and, you know, so they're on at 1 hit point and stuff. And those work great. No shade on anyone who builds those, right? That's, right, because those are common. This one, it takes a minute to warm up, but you can see I'm swiping Enderman every kill here. Or I'm killing Enderman every swipe. That might be the best way of putting it. And yeah, not really an issue as far as speed goes here. But it does take a moment to warm up because the first couple of swipes are going to aren't going to. Oops, you gotta actually hit them. The first couple of swipes aren't going to kill the Enderman, but after that, oh yeah, you're good to go. Okay, we're kind of sort of getting there. Also, I've had issues sometimes with those Enderman drop farms where they don't spawn very quickly up on the spawn platform. This way, I've not had an issue with it. I get a pretty steady flow of cranky tall guys. Right? They just... oh yeah, they just all come running over. Works out okay. Alright, I don't need any of the ender pearls. Okay. Do I want to... oh, you know what? Let's heal up this hoe while we're at it. Not that I necessarily need to, just since I'm here, let's just go ahead and do it. I think the rest of my tools are in good enough shape. Obviously, my axe is fully there. I mean, we're here. We're here. I'll go ahead and take care of that pickaxe, too. Okay. All right. And here we go. Okay, so that's all healed up and everything too. Wonderful. All right, Don't need that. I actually don't need that at all. I could probably just throw it back in the thing. But let's try very carefully not to throw out. Excuse me. Get the sneeze. Try not to throw out anything useful. That would be a plus. This one I can restock with ender pearls. Okay, so that can go back. Actually, you know what? Hang on. Let's just. I don't have a die on it, but that's okay. All right. There, that'll be easier to see in my shulker box. I could dye it a different color too, but I don't really need to, so. All right, so those go away. Now, the other thing I need is some food. So looks like I need to restock my food box here in the not too distant future. Okay. Awesome. All right. I should put a better way to get there from the end, that end platform there, but whatever. All right. We're back and better than ever, as they say. And it's 4 o'clock in the morning, which is definitely a time to be awake. Was it a good time to be awake? Well, not so much. All right. So we've got the stuff. Don't really need that pickaxe. Don't really need that sword either. So we'll just put that in there. Okay. Now, what was? Oh yeah, I was digging. Oh, also, I needed some more. I put the shells away. Let's grab a handful of shulker shells. Yeah, I think that'll match up with those so that I can fairly quickly make up another shulker box or two if and when I need one. All right. So, we were back here. All right, so we're kind of, yeah, bringing this hillside down. You know, while I was in the end. Actually, I don't have the soul sand. Said I should have just gotten myself another beacon, but should we do that? Should we just? This is going to take forever. Let's go ahead and just get another beacon. Because going through the snow is easy. Going through all of the rest of the nonsense is not so much. So let's go ahead and get a beacon. Hang on, let me double check my inner chest. Yep. Got wither skeleton skulls. I just need soul sand, which actually I might have soul sand in one of my shulkers in the store. So let's go take a look. I may have some in my redstone box too, for that matter. I try to keep some in there, but I can't say I've kept it stocked. Okay. That's dark oak, which is great. You know what would be really good to do here too, but I'm not going to right now. Oh, there's one soul sand. That's fine, but not... Oh, there we go. There we go. That's what I needed. All right. Cool. Let's just go ahead and head back to the end and get ourselves a wither. Alright. Guess I'm going to need my sword after all. I guess it doesn't matter. The axe does pretty well. But yeah, setting up another portal, maybe. So yeah, when I originally set up this world, it was in single player, and two, I decided I was going to build the Nether hub down at bedrock level, down at the bottom of the Nether. And so that's where everything is. But then later, I started putting stuff up on the roof, and we popped this out into a thing. Oh, Mature Gamer, thank you for the follow. On all the places. I decided to do something. Oh yeah, I got talked into making this multiplayer world, and I decided to do some stuff like, oh, hang on, how do I get in there? Very carefully, it turns out. All right. We'll deal with this in a minute. Okay. Yeah, well, I started doing stuff up on the Nether roof, which was great and all, but... All right. Go ahead and lock those chickens in place. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Guess I should back up a little bit. If I'm lucky, those chickens will go. All right, yep. All right, hang on. I'm just going to mute game sounds for a minute. Oh, and I'm far enough away that I can't hit it. That's fine. All right. And hopefully he'll stay put. Your oldest is on a modding kick. Ooh, nice, Mature Gamer. Yeah, that's something I've thought about doing a mod or two, but the reality is I don't know that I'm going to have enough interest to maintain a mod. And I'm not overly fond of programming in Java, so, you know, that's there's that too. All right. All right. The Witherhead projectile, those are just mob heads, so not a big deal. Cool, but yeah, we'll just stick them in that bundle. All right, yay. Okay, some of the chickens got out. It's all good. Yeah, modding is cool though. It's a fun thing. We've only done JavaScript and Python. Okay. Boy, Python is a language I do not like. Oh, huh. I think I've got glass over here, which should be fine. Obsidian would be a thing I'm lacking. Okay, glass. Do I have obsidian? I do have obsidian. Haha. No, that's not obsidian, that's coal. Why did I think that was obsidian? Oh, because that's obsidian. Hi. Because I clicked on the wrong things. Beacon. Great. One of these things is loud and obnoxious. Where did I pull this out of? Pulled it out of somewhere. Okay, the glass came out of there. All right, and then this box. Yeah, Python drives me nuts. I don't like its block formats. I don't like that it's white space sensitive. Okay, and I know that's a really niche problem to have, but seriously, I grew up writing in, right? When I first started learning to program, I was writing in languages like C and Java and eventually Perl, where your blocks are all delimited by braces, right? Which is great. It makes it easy to read. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It makes it really easy to read where everything goes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. That way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so if you're looking at a printout of your code, you can see, oh, yeah, my braces all match, right? Python doesn't do that. Python says, oh, we're going to do everything with spaces. You're required to indent, which that in and of itself is annoying, but not that big a deal. But we're going to make you do indents. But I ran into an issue with some Python code where there was a rogue space. Like it had been tabbed in somewhere. You started in COBOL. Nice. So did my mother-in-law. I've written in Fortran. I haven't written in COBOL. But yeah, there was a rogue space that I'd commented out a line of code or something. But because the space was there, the program broke. And I couldn't figure out why, so I'm just looking at the code. But I couldn't figure out why, because the silly white space. And I just don't like a language where I can't look at it without the help of an external tool and see things. Now, this is the 3rd or 4th beacon I've built. Why am I only just now? Maybe because it's the first time I actually killed the wither. Rather than letting it suffocate or something. That might be it. Said I have 2 beacons as decorations in my base. What the heck? All right. Nah, we're good. But no, as you can tell, my name is Pearl Stalker. Perl is my language of choice. Given the option, I would much rather write in Perl than anything else. But that's just me. I've written enough in Python now to know, yeah, it's an okay language. It's not a bad language. There are very few bad languages. But it's just annoying. All right. Ah, good. This feels so much better. Okay. Why didn't I do this before? It's because I'm stubborn. That's why I didn't do it before. Okay, so we're going to bring this down this way. This will help quite a bit, I think. You gave up coding a while back? Yeah. Well, I'm a systems administrator in my day job. And I don't do as much programming as I used to, but I do still write code from time to time. Also, my bot has built-in support for just writing C# and adding stuff in C#, which is annoying because I have not written much in C#. But it's nice to have the option. But cheese monkeys. Turns out there's a hole there. Some silly person put a hole in the middle of the hill. But you were too old with no resume experience. That's fair. I mean, it's actually not fair. You should be able to at least get started on it. Now, I got into it early because I got a job while I was still in college. This was back in the mid-90s. Which is just weird to think about. I was in college and I got a job doing tech support for a local dial-up internet provider. Oh yeah. Dial-up tech support. Definitely the place you want to be spending all of your time. Okay. Bring this back. This hill is actually going to be kind of steep, and that's okay. My beacon's in the way, but it's all right. But anyway, so I was doing dial-up tech support at night, which was great because I had classes during the day. But they had me doing some tasks at night that are sort of sysadmin-y type jobs, or tasks. Like we were selling web hosting as part of our services. And this was still when web hosting was, here's an FTP site, upload your HTML page, right? JavaScript was still fairly new, right? All of that fun. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some cleanup on this hill, but I think making a little bit of progress. You were military in your 20s. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's around trying to get stable. That's understandable. Yeah, see, I got into it, what's that? It was just before the dot-com bubble burst. And there were places that they were backing up the dump trucks of money if you could spell PHP, right? Didn't matter if you could actually write in it. As long as you could, spell it, you were probably in good shape. Okay. Guess I should pack away this stone, too. But by the time I graduated college, the bubble had burst. And so, yeah, if you weren't already in the field, it was kind of tough. It's kind of tough to get into. But okay, so our hill's going to be coming this way, right? Because I carved out this section over here. So getting this to angle up, and this is kind of hard to do with this sort of first-person view, but that's okay. We'll get there. Yeah, I think my daughter's toying with the idea of trying to get into it a little bit. Her career got killed early by COVID, and so now she's decided, maybe that wasn't quite what I wanted to do, and now she was doing a little bit of that, learning Python and things like that. When you already AI came in, yeah. Yeah, there's some. I'm a very AI positive person, but yeah, as an industry, we're still trying to figure out what the heck this is all going to mean. Okay. Solo dev game developer. Yeah, it's the new meta. Yeah. That's what my son he's going to college for is game development, and it'll be interesting to see what path his career takes when he graduates in a year or so. All right, let's figure out where this hill is. Right, this was going to come down a little bit because this was a little bit of a bulge. Right here, we'll free cam out. You see this? Okay. Hi, goat. I see you. Yep. You're definitely up there. Anyway, so we got a little bit of a bulge here that I can work with without cutting down the height of the hill too much. But yeah, he's all excited about it, so that's awesome. Game design has been something he's been doing since he was little since he was old enough to understand that games had rules and that you could actually make them up. Oh, you're using AI to make emotes for Beam. I've tried that. I have yet to have one generate an emote that I've liked. my emotes, I've got a couple. I think on Beam all I've got is the emotes that are based off my skin, and I just used Minimator to set up poses and stuff, and that worked out. That worked out well. On Twitch, I've got a few that are sort of basically just smileys, just in blue. And those, it took me a long time to get that, those sort of sorted out. And because I kept screwing up the circle. And then what I ended up doing is I just set my mouse speed down to like almost nothing. And that worked out pretty well. But found a couple of, or found a, yeah, it was a couple of completely free to use, no attribution needed, like eyes and mouth shapes. And that gave me a few. But I really need to take a look at something, because I want a Cheese Monkeys emote. The problem is I don't know what I want it to look like, and it's really hard to do an AI prompt if you don't know what you're looking for. I mean, I have used, occasionally I've used AI for not the actual thumbnails, but for thumbnail ideas, especially for my podcast. Okay, this hill is looking, I mean, it's looking like a mess, and we've got a lot of stone and stuff, but I think this is starting to shape out a little bit better. Okay. Yeah, a little bit. So I think I may want to carve this out just a touch. Just right through here. And then I think this is mostly okay. So I'm going to have to go in and fill out the sort of messy disaster I've got here. But otherwise, I think this hill is starting to look pretty good. We've got a little bit too much of a line here. But if I were to come in and maybe carve back a little bit, say here. Okay. I'll get some snow out here and cover this in a minute, but if I were to push this back this way, okay, this might work. Perhaps. Okay. All right. Yeah, the fact that I've got a line here is a little bit of a problem, but I think I can shape that out. Okay, yeah, and I can bring some snow, right? I could bring, like, if I were to have snow up like this, right? I could bring some snow out like so, something like this. Okay, and then this pushes back into the mountainside like this. So if I do something like that, it won't be quite so stark. There won't be quite as much of a line there. Okay. All right, let me go sleep, and then we'll, ouch, crash into a hill. Also good. I find I sleep better after I've smashed my head into a wall. I wouldn't recommend it for most people, but it does tend to work out fairly well for me some days. You know, if you really can't sleep, just really hard face plant into a wall, good stuff right there. Totally. Don't do that. For those of you on TikTok stupid enough to believe that that's a true thing, don't do that. Also, maybe don't use TikTok. But also, okay. All right, so let's see what I'm doing here. So I think what I want to do is let's start laying down some snow. Yeah, definitely full sleep mode. Yeah. Yeah, if I start laying down some snow here. Okay, and I'm just going to go on top of the stone. I think what I can do... Yeah. We'll deal with this cave in a minute. I think I may want to do something with this. So for now, we'll leave it. But if I bring this way a little bit... Right, we just kind of shape out and around here. I'll need to come in a few places. Like maybe here. Where we just kind of bring it around a little bit. Again, I want to break up this this line of stone and stuff that I've got. But also I'm a believer that if you're terraforming and just randomly placing blocks and you put one in the wrong spot, just go with it. Just embrace the randomness, because that ends up breaking up what's very often a very patterned look, which can happen sometimes when you're doing it by hand. Okay. Okay, yeah, so this I think is going to work out okay. Let's go ahead and bring this down this way a little bit. All right. Yeah, I think this is starting to to work out okay. I don't know if I want that steep, but if not, I can always cut it back. But we'll see what we've got as this comes through. Also, let's maybe eat a carrot. Carrots are good for you. That's what all the sites that I keep reading about, you know, trying to be like healthy and stuff. Said, yeah, eat carrots. Like, yeah, but I know carrots are delicious and stuff, but really, how many carrots can a person eat in a day? I'm going to cut this back just a little bit. Though I did find a really good spaghetti bolognese below the knees recipe. That was tasty. That uses carrots in it. I actually made that up with some whole wheat spaghetti and ground turkey. And other than the fact it made way too much for one person, even meal prepping as I was, you know, so I was making enough so that I would have stuff for the week. Yeah, that was a little crazy. You know, I might leave some stones showing in a few places. If this is steep, right, you would definitely have some places where the snow doesn't stick, and you'd get exposed. You'd get exposed stone. Yeah, I think I said that right. The snow doesn't stick, and you get exposed stone, as opposed to the stone not sticking and you getting exposed snow, which, you know, as fun as that sounds. Do you want your snow exposing itself? That's a question probably better asked at a different place. So I was just trying to decide if I want to carve this out just a little bit. Again, there are a few places here where it's feeling a little bit linear. And I said having some snow or some stone in here is not a bad thing. In fact, what I could do, like there are a few places like this where it might be good to have some like boulders sticking out and things like this. You know, where it's like if I come up with some, I may grab some cobblestone or something, but have some boulders coming up, that might deal with some of this curve or some of these places here where it's maybe a little steep, but it would help break up the hillside just a little bit. Like, I don't still have cobblestone on me, do I? No. I do have a little bit of cobblestone. Okay, cool. Let's grab some cobblestone. Cobble's not the perfect rock to use here for this, but like if I were to build up some cobblestone, like right up here. Okay. All right, we'll bring this down this way. But actually, let's take this out. We'll bring some cobblestone here. And I can come around and replace some of that cobble with andesite and stuff like that. But if I were to do something like that, oops, I could also fall into the hill. That's cool too. Maybe. Actually, yeah, let's take this out. Leave that stone there. But if I come in with some andesite and fill that in a little bit. Andesite, probably not diorite, but you know, a little bit of shape here of, yeah, turns out this is a mountain. Mountains sometimes have rocks. And if there are enough of them, they name the mountain after those rocks because they're totally unimaginative. And thus, the Rocky Mountains were named. Could they have named them something cool like the Appalachians? No, they're just, look at those Rocky Mountains. What should we call this mountain range? We'll just call them Rocky Mountains. Like, okay. Whatever you say, Zeb. Well, Rocky Mountains they are. And, yeah. There we go. The Rockies now exist. And then who knew that hundreds of years later they would name a really bad baseball team after them, you know? Never would have guessed. Okay, so we get this going here. We'll fill in this gap. I think maybe, I said I'll just use some cobblestone to mark out where I want the rocks to go, but yeah, that'll be kind of good. All right, let's go ahead and let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. All right. But yeah, having a little bit of, especially with a hill that's going to be basically as steep as this is. Yeah, having a few places where stone is showing through is going to be a good thing. Yeah, unfortunately my beacon is in the way a little bit. Okay. But yeah, so if I bring this down like so, yeah, we can pop this down this way. Okay. Yeah, I think this is going to work. And we've got our little cave action happening here. Oh. Okay, so you ever have that moment in your life, everything is just sitting happy and wonderful, and then you realize that your feet have been freezing for like 20 minutes and you hadn't noticed? Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at the moment. I even have warm socks on. Okay. All right, so let's see. You know, I have slippers under my desk, but they don't work as well when I have socks on. I can't get my foot in the slipper. Okay. All right. Yes, I'm definitely team warm slippers. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but some of you are team warm fuzzy dog, and I'm okay with that too. That's or cat. Maybe you like the fuzzy cats and have those snuggled up around your feet. I'm okay with that. I could use a snuggly kitten around my feet right now. Of course, if I had a kitten on my feet, they'd probably be pouncing on my toes. And that's less fun than it sounds. I remember when my oldest were really little, Right? They were, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3, something like that. 4, maybe. I don't know, somewhere in that range. We had just gotten a kitten. And he would sit at the bottom of the stairs, and he would pounce on their toes when they came down the stairs. And my poor little girls were so scared of the kitten, because of course kitten claws are sharp, and they'd stand on the stairs about three stairs up from the cat. It's like, but you know, the cat's there. They were all afraid because he would pounce on their toes. Then we had to move the cat, you know. Okay, yeah, see, there are a few places here where a couple of rocky outcroppings might be good. All right, yeah, I like that idea. Just bring in some... If this is going to be a steep cliff, which definitely seems to be, then yeah, having some rocky places makes all the sense in the world. Okay, so we'll definitely take advantage of that. Also, we'll fall down the hill and stuff. Okay, I do want to carve this back just a little bit. Okay. Yeah, something around these lines. And okay, I want to zoom out for a minute. Yeah, I like this. So if we were to, oops, fall down the hill, cool. Again, I'm gonna just use some cobblestone to as a placeholder, but at least the cobblestone I know is not stone, so I know I'm not going to cover that up as much, or we don't want to dig it out. Okay. All right. What is this? This is progress. This is what progress looks like. I don't see it as often on stream, so... Ah! Okay. Okay, here we go. Out we go. Okay. I'm just going to leave that blocky, but I think I may swap out some of that for stairs. Snow. All right, so we'll bring some of this down this way, which is good. All right. All right. Yeah, this is starting to look okay. It's a little bit harder to tell from this level, but yeah, I think this is starting to look all right. Bring this out this way a little bit more. All right. Yeah. I like this idea of just having a little bit more exposed stone here. I sound like Good Times with Scar. Well, thank you, Ref. I appreciate that. Certainly try. No, I don't try to sound like Scar, but he's definitely someone to pay attention to when he talks about terraforming. How you doing, man? Hope you're having an excellent day over there on Kick. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. Scar does some good stuff. I've tried to learn from what Scar has shown in some of his videos and stream and stuff. Okay. Yeah. So right now the cobblestone's a placeholder. I'm going to do some more of something with that, but just taking a quick look on lives. Nice. Okay. Yeah, so definitely bring some stone in. I think actually I want this to come out a little bit more. That'll work. Ah, cheese monkeys. Yeah, thank you for that follow. All right, so let's see if I swing all of this. Yeah, again, we're going to have a little bit of stone peeking up here. So my beacon is in the way. Well, so I'll have to move that here soon. But let's at least get a lot of this try to shaped out and stuff. All right. Okay, gravity. Gravity works. I think we'll leave some of that stone there too. We'll see if I can get some of this poking up. I think that's going to work out fairly nicely. So this hill is kind of steep, and snow would not typically stick on a really steep slope. So we can keep that going. It'll be good. Yeah. No, take care, man. Have a great day. Okay, I'll deal with this after I take the beacon out. Let's fill in that hole anyway. Yeah, see, there are a few places here, like this is getting a little steep, so if I come in here, and let's see, we'll just bring a little bit of a little bit of cobblestone up here. Okay, so we've got ourselves a little rocky outcropping. All right, and again, I'll get through here and mix and match that stone a little bit, because yes, throwing in some andesite and some natural stone, and maybe some diorite, a few places. I think that's going to be good. Maybe not. Okay, now I was looking at bringing this down here a little bit, but maybe now as I'm looking at it, I don't think so. Let's go ahead and just fill this back in. I kind of like where we're going with the with the hill, and just letting it be steep, and just, yeah, we'll just take some of the full snow effect out, and mix and match in our stone and make that all cool. Okay, right. So so there are some places I need to fill in, but yeah, so that's going to be good. I think if I bring some of the stone across this way a little bit, I think it's going to be good. So, okay, cool. Oops, that's snow layers. Blocks, please. Okay, where am I at? We're up here somewhere. Okay. All right, so yeah, we'll just fill this back in. This might be a good spot, right in here. All right, right in here. Basically, we've got ourselves a sort of a big rock where snow has sort of come down through a little bit of a crack in it or something like that. I like that idea. Okay. Yep, I've tried to follow the same advice here that I do on my builds. Start boring and then add detail. Okay, once you've got the shape where you want it to be, then you can go in, detail it up. But this way you're not spending all your time detailing just to tear it out because you need to move something else. So, all right, so I think we're kind of okay here. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the beacon so I can deal with the terraforming under there, but okay, it was a short-lived beacon, but taking the time to put that in definitely saved a lot of time carving out the rest of this mountain. Of course, I can't get at the Hi, I would like to remove that iron, please. Thank you. Also, trying to actually pick up the iron. That's also useful. Okay. Would it have been better to take down from the top? Probably. Yeah. I'm one of those weird people that likes to take out the beacon, the actual beacon part of that last. Because then I can keep at least some of the status effects while I'm taking it out, right? I'll still have what's like just haste. It's not haste 2, but that's okay. It still means taking down the rest of this thing will be a little bit faster than it would have been otherwise. Hey, Rondo, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. You're having a fabulous day over there on Kick. It's a beautiful day. I should actually go sleep. All right, let me go find a bed real quick, and then we'll finish taking this beacon down. And then we can deal with the rest of this hillside. Okay. I can do it. Honestly, I should just put pressure plates, because I'm a little obsessive about closing doors behind me in Minecraft. I don't know why, but I am. Okay, let's just get up here now and get the rest of this beacon down. Or, hear me out here. Maybe we'll just fail to jump on top of it lots of times and kind of look like a fool. I think I'm going to go with that option. Just the fall off the beacon option. Definitely a good one. Definitely a good one. I think that's probably my most frequently used skill is falling off things. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I hope you're better at moving around than I am, because yeah. Oh, shall we do Minecraft parkour? I can't jump off 3 blocks. I fall off flat surfaces. No, we'll just not do that. Okay. Try not to lose too much of this iron. I'm gonna guess it won't matter that much, I suppose, but still. All right. Now I need to start thinking about actually taking the actual beacon apart. But hey, at least having haste there for that short amount of time. There we go. And taking the rest of that apart was a lot easier. Okay. All right, so let's go and bring some. Those are snow layers. Snow layers are great, but not what I'm looking for. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this snow in place. And that seems to be doing okay. I think so. Hang on. Let's freak him out for a sec. Obviously, we've got some exposed stone in places, and that's okay. I need to come up here, fill in this little gap. Okay. Yeah, having the exposed stone is fine. Like I said, making this since I made this a little steeper, I think it's going to be fine. Yeah, it's going okay. Dealing with terraforming is always a special breed of fun, but otherwise seem to be doing okay. Yeah, I like this. I like it. So I'm just going to put in some cobblestone as placeholder just to be sure I know. I have told myself this is where this is going to go. Yeah, Minecraft is fun. I like it. Is it easy for someone completely new to it? Yeah, you can get started fairly easily. You know, the basics are simple. You do get some, you know, you can't expect to be like a master builder or all the redstone right out of the gate, but it's not too bad. All right. How do I want? Do I want to? Yeah, let's actually do that. Said the cobble will get replaced. We'll put something else in there, but all right. Yeah, this hill is definitely looking a bit rockier, which is just sort of what I'm intending now. It's not what I was expecting when I started, but this is what we're at now. And yeah, if I were to come in over on this side, let's bring some of this. Bring this sort of over like so. Yeah, it is. Minecraft is pretty chill. What's also fun too is if you could get started just in creative if you want to do just building type stuff and not have to worry about, oh, I'm going to get my face eaten by zombies in the middle of the night, you know? Oh no, you don't have to be good. Just because you know you don't get good overnight. Heck, I'm not even sure I'm good now. It's just enjoy what you're building, have fun with it, and don't get discouraged because you see some YouTuber build something awesome and amazing and just insane, and I think, oh, I can't do that. Yeah, don't worry about it. Just build stuff you like and have fun building. Okay. Yeah, this is doing okay. This snow is a little annoying at the moment, but okay. So yeah, I think this is going to be good. We're definitely adding some outcroppings and stuff. Said I don't know what I want to do about this cave. This guy right down here. I kind of sort of want to leave this open, but maybe not. Yeah, it's more about having fun and learning. Honestly, video games are about having fun. You know, even if it's something that, oh, I don't have any of those on me. Okay. Yeah, video games are about having fun. So if you're not having fun, then, you know, either, I was going to say you're doing something wrong. That's not exactly true. So maybe the game's just not fun. But yeah, you certainly can't expect to pick up oil paints and be painting like Van Gogh or Picasso the first day. Cobblestone. Where did I leave cobblestone? Hi, I have a mess. Okay. Do I have a shulker with snow? That's close enough. All right. And I had a box where I had iron and stuff in it. Yeah. Iron goes away. We'll put the beacon in there too, because why not? Okay, sweet. I would like to sleep now, but it's not night enough yet. Okay. Yeah, as long as you're having fun, you know. That really is the important thing here. Are you enjoying what you're doing? Then yeah. Okay. Yes, this is a perfect spot. There's already this carve out here. So this was just a natural thing. So what I'm going to do is we'll add a little bit of custom rocky goodness over here. And I'll make that goat happy, I'm sure. Hi, goat. See, look, I'm going to make this prettier. You'll love it. It's going to be great. I don't think the goat cares. All right. That's fine. Yeah, I think we'll tuck in with that too. So Okay, so yeah, I'll come in with some andesite and... All right, fine. Do it that way. That's okay. Yeah, we'll come in with some andesite and some other things to help make those rocks a little prettier, but... Yeah, I think this will be good. Yeah, it's certainly looking a little bit better. It's giving me the room I need for the church here, so that's a win. So yeah, I think this is good. It's working out. So I've got some places where it might be good to put in some stairs and some slabs so the snow doesn't accumulate, and that'll just, you know, because otherwise it's just going to be, you know, snow on top of everything, which is fine, I guess, but yeah, so this will be good. So I'm going to come in and we'll free cam here for a minute just to take a look at it. So there are a few places I think I'm going to add a little bit more snow, but sorry, cut through the ceiling. But yeah, I think this is going to be good. Well, with the extra stone and stuff here, the steepness will make sense. Because if you've ever been up in the mountains, you get a steep hillside. If there's snow on it, you're going to end up dealing with an avalanche or something at some point. Okay. And we'll just light this up a little bit. Okay. What do I like doing in Minecraft? I typically like building. I like redstone. I don't like exploring. Okay. I was going to make that snow, but apparently since I don't have snow in my inventory. Oh, it must be getting on to night. Oh, it is night. Ah, no wonder it's dark. Okay. Hang on. Okay. Yeah, that'll be good. I'll get some stuff out there. But yeah, I like to build. I like to do redstone. Exploring is something I put up with. You know, I need to do it once in a while, but not really my jam, you know? Okay, actually, let's see. I should have, maybe not in here. Because I think of what a lot of what I have in here, there we go. I can get words in the right order. Is mostly just stone. I don't think I have a lot of andesite. You don't know a lot about redstone. Yeah, some of it's complicated. That is absolutely true. But it's not too bad if you've done any sort of programming. It helps sometimes, at least to understand how logic works. But otherwise, it's not too bad. Wow, I was hoping I had some andesite and stuff over here, but it looks like I've got some tough, but look, I have one block of andesite. That's not helpful. Okay. Where would I have andesite? But yeah, redstone's fun. I designed this little machine. It's a machine to brew potions. You can brew them manually easily enough. That's a fully automated system, which is kind of fun. Wow, this feels... It's not off-center, but it feels like it is. How weird. Okay. Yeah, redstone is 100% learnable for beginners. There are some really good tutorials. Mumbo Jumbo has a couple of really good ones. Let's see. Do I have some andesite here? Boy, a little bit. But yeah, it'll take some time if you really want to learn it. It just takes... You start finding some tutorials about some smaller builds. Actually, we'll bring in some pale moss. That might be good too. Actually, some deep slate might be a good thing. There's some tough. I was really hoping to find some andesite, because it's a good lighter block. But I don't know that I have any over here. I might have to head back to my main base and get some. All right, well, let's do that. But yeah, it's not too bad. If you can find some simpler contraptions, build them, but then pay attention to what they're actually doing. And I'll have to admit, it's sometimes hard to find a tutorial that explains what the redstone does in any sort of understandable way. But if you can tear it apart and kind of see what it's doing, it helps. Yeah, it's nice sometimes to know this is what it's supposed to do, and you can put it together and kind of see, okay, this is what it's doing. But yeah, definitely hit up Mumbo's channel on YouTube, because he had some really good beginner videos. You'll find a bunch where he's just doing really insane, like slime block flying machines and all sorts of weird craziness, but he's got a couple that are really good. This is how a comparator works, and this is what repeaters do and things like that. Okay. So let's see now. One of these days I'll finish the bottom of my base. Today is not that day. All right, so let's see. I don't think I've got... No, I didn't put andesite in bulk storage. Okay. Sounds fine knowing what it's supposed to do. Yeah, it's like, if you're going to build... Ah, perfect. Oh, that'll work. We'll just take this shulker. Like, if you know what it's supposed to do, right, then you can put it in, and then you can build it again, or, you know, or just even leave what you've got there, but tear apart what's there. But, you know, start playing with, all right, what does this do? Like, what do I have that would be worth looking at? Oh yeah, this'll be good. Hang on, it'll take a minute to get to it. I built this a couple of weeks ago, partly because Mumbo had said something on stream and I was curious. Now also be advised that redstone on Java and redstone in Bedrock are completely different beasts, and just be aware of that. Like, so this machine here, I'm going to turn on the gamma so it's a little bit easier to see. This is a machine to farm moss. Okay. But there are a couple of components here that you could play with that you can see, okay, like this is a timer. Actually, I've got a couple of timers here. But this machine, if I turn it on, which I guess I have to do from downstairs, this controls how fast it goes. Right? And so you can play with that type of thing, or, you know, it's stuff like that where you can start putting it together and say, oh, right, this does timing between making the moss grow and breaking it so it'll grow more, right? Right now it's configured for pale moss. If I turn that on, there we go. There, you can see it's sort of doing a thing here. It grows the moss, it flushes it all out. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Most of it individually is fairly simple. So you could start playing with it. It's like, oh, what is this doing? Why does this work? Why does this have 1.5 zillion repeaters and things like that, right? So yeah, so stuff like that is kind of fun to play with. If you're trying to learn it, diving into things like that can be cool. Actually, since I'm down here, let's actually get another stack of pale moss. The pale moss blends in really well with the tuff and can sometimes have a little bit of a stony look, which is kind of nice. How long have I been streaming for? 10.5 years, roughly. It's been a while. All right, up we go. And down we go. I really need to think about a beacon up there somewhere, but that'll be a future me problem. Like so many things, that's a problem for future me. Of course, I say that a lot, which is why I have put that on merch. But my water bottle says that's a problem for future me. You know, it does help if it's open. Okay, let's see now. I'm heading back this way. And the Voxy mod is nice. Being able to see out into the distance, like, we're going over here somewhere. Yeah, yeah. So I'm going to need to get some more rockets. I've got some in my ender chest. I just need to get them out. All right. Fortunately, I've got one back in the store, so we'll go from there. Hey, how's it going there, Mars? Welcome in, welcome in. Hope you're having a fabulous day over there on Twitch. And actually, I guess it doesn't matter. I've got an ender chest in a couple of different places. All right. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Doing some landscaping this morning, so, you know, that's been a special breed of fun. All right. Why haven't I added customization? You mean like the ones I have? Or I like a minimal overlay. I don't like having a bunch of stuff all over the place. I like one that's really minimal. Oh, I need rockets. But if that is a prelude to selling me your graphics design services, you can just not do that. Okay. Oh, it's almost night. Yeah, never mind. We'll sleep first. Okay, so I've got plenty of andesite. Way more andesite than I need. Let's see. There we go. We'll keep a little bit of the snow on hand just for filling stuff in, but yeah, I don't like having a lot of stuff all over stream. All over the screen. It's the important stuff is the game. Yeah, that's it exactly. I think. Okay, do I have? Yes, I do have some deep slate. I should actually probably grab some of the cobbled deep slate too, but yeah. So if I were to come down here, and let's pull in, take out some of that. Let's take some deep slate. Some basalt might be good here too, but yeah, we'll put a little bit of that in, and I think. Yeah, I think a little bit of tough action. The problem with the tough is that it doesn't quite blend the way I'd like, but it's all right. So then you can come in here with some moss. Moss is a little bit green, but I think it's okay. This pale moss. It does blend really well with the tough, though. And if I were to come in with some tough stairs and slabs and things, this might work out okay. And this, oh, right, it's all in the shulker box. Seems quite tough. Yes, absolutely, Mars, absolutely. It's so tough. Okay. Yeah, so if I bring this up, whoops, I'm going to fall off this hill a few times. That's okay. Yeah, that should work. And I need to come in with stairs and slabs and things, but this is sort of the idea. Where do I want shadows to be coming from? I guess we'll assume it's morning, so the sun's going to come from that side. Right, so we'll come in from over here. Yeah, I need to go get some. Let's get some more deep slate. Or at least cobbled deep slate. Yep, that will be a no, Rhonda. That'll be an absolute hard no. Anyone who comes in selling stuff like that in streams, it's usually a problem. Okay. I know I had a box here that I had dirt in. All right, you know what? Fine. Oh, I want the shulker box. I don't want the dirt. Shulker box can actually stay here. Okay. There we go. All right. So yeah, I'll need a get a bunch of stuff to fall in here. But yeah, if I start here, like there are a couple of places like this. Where's that cobbled deep slate? Right, where I can put this in, and basically what I'm going to be doing is basically adding just a little bit of shadow. So if I obviously the sun moves throughout the day, but the shadows don't move. But if I sort of pretend, or at least picture this as all the light coming from the, whatever that is, the east, then I could put the darker stuff sort of on the bottom and along the side, like right here. And, right, so this would go in here like this. Okay. And that'll, everything will sort of have a similar feel if I pull things in like that, right? This will bring in some of the tough. And do I want to? I don't know, keep falling off things. It's all good. We're fine. Okay, where's my moss? Yeah, let's bring in a little bit of moss here. And we'll bring the andesite up this way. Yeah, I need to get in and add the stairs and slabs for some finer details, but that's not quite what I was looking for. Yeah, something along those lines. I'll have to play with that some, but yeah, but that's already looking a little bit better. Though, I don't know, might be a little bit funky. All right, this one I had sort of, okay. The thing is here too, what you get down towards the base of rocks tends to be a little bit more solid. And then it'll be breaking up a little bit more along the top. So we'll sort of keep that in mind. Right, so I could come up here with some actual stone. Right, yes, it would be a little bit weathered, which is why the andesite is so good for that. Hey, boy, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name over there. Anne? Welcome. You're having a great day over there on YouTube? Can you get the IP? No, absolutely not. This is a private server, so no. But, all right. Yeah, so we'll get some of this stuff. All right. This is working out. Yeah, I think this is going to be okay. We'll get some deep slate down here. I like the tough, but it's a little bit It is just a little bit green, and that's a... And I don't necessarily need a lot of that. Okay. That goat is just having the time of its life up there, man. Why is no one seeing me? That is a question you'd have to ask them. All right, so that's going to go in there. We'll bring a little bit of this moss down. Yeah, because it's a little bit darker. Gonna suck. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. You know, honestly, this should probably be... Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some more deep slate. Yeah, so we'll bring some of this across this way. Yeah, we'll just bring some of this across here. And if I come in with a little bit of... Yeah, let's put some stone here. And then we'll bring the andesite up this way. Yeah, I think that'll work. And I'll have to come in with some stairs and slabs and all that fun stuff. That will be fun and exciting. This, yeah, same type of thing. We'll add some slabs and things up here. Sort of keep some of the snow off of it. Okay. This one, I don't think I'm going to do any of the deep slate. Actually, what might be good over here too would be a little bit of diorite. I don't think I have any on me at the moment, but the diorite here would also look a little bit like there's snow sort of packed into the cracks in the rock, which would be kind of cool. Let's see. I want to do put a little bit of this. Yeah, we'll put the cobblestone on the side here. Again, kind of looking at, putting some of the darker blocks on what would be the west side. Okay. Oopsie. There we go. Actually, that might be okay. We'll end up with something else on top of that, I'm sure. Yeah. Now, one of the cool things too with pale moss is you could put grass and stuff on it. So if you wanted a little bit of grass or you know, what is it from the desert? The tall dead grass, that type of thing. So it looks like there's a little bit of plant life trying to push its way through the blocks in the hill. You can't plant that on stone, but you can plant that on moss, which is really cool. All right. It is getting late. So let me see if I can at least get the rest of the shapes and stuff here going. Hopefully they'll be all right. Sleeping. Sleeping's good. I like the sleeping.
I do like sleeping.
All right. And I have rockets right here somewhere. Okay. Yeah. So if I can get at least the base shape for these rocks in place, I think that's going to be good. And then we can sort of come in later with some other things. Okay. Yeah, so this whole side should be a little bit darker. So that'll be okay. I think maybe if I slip some... No, let's do some tough. Oh, that's cobble deep slate. No, we're good. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. Also, that's moss. I mean, moss is fine. Okay, little bit darker, but that's perfectly fine. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. As I said, we'll come and do some detailing in the next stream or two, but Yeah, I think this is going to be really cool once it's done. Okay, so we'll just... No! No! That's not what I wanted at all. That'll come in there. There. Now, one thing with nature is it tends to be blobby. Okay? You don't get a lot of, like, you know, stripes or just truly randomness. So, like, that might be a little bit too checkerboardy weird and stuff. But if you come in and add a little bit of the blobbiness in place, that kind of works. That's stone. I was going to go for andesite there, but honestly, we'll stick with it. Also, that's still stone. All right. Yeah, we'll bring the andesite up this way a little bit. All right, so yeah, I free cam out. Yeah, you see this is ceiling. You see this is starting to look a little bit more natural. It needs some shape, right? See, that's too flat, for example. But I'll get in there with some other blocks. We'll deal with that. Okay, where else do I need to go? Looks like I've got some stuff over here. Yeah, so I can come in this way with some... Yeah, we'll just bring tough in like so. Actually, that cobble's not too bad right where it is. Okay. Okay, but yeah, coming in with a little bit of diorite, especially maybe down towards the bottom, stuff like that might be okay. Do I want this to stay stone? No, I don't think so. I think I want that to be snow. Okay. All right. Yeah, see, that's starting to take shape a little bit. Obviously, a lot more detailing to do, but I can live with this. All right, yeah, and then all of this, if I were to take my same sort of, I don't know, lore is sort of the wrong word, but that sort of idea where it's, do I have tough and, okay. Where it's a little bit darker on the side here. Actually, moss would be really good here. Or it's a little bit darker where it would be in the shadow, assuming the sun were in the east. Yeah, that's working. Okay. And let's no, we'll bring that in like that. Okay. All right, now I want to swap this andesite for cobblestone. There we go. All right. Cool. And let's just do this face real quick. And then I probably should be calling it because I do have to go adulting and do adult type things. And that's just, I guess it's not too bad. I like food. So, going out and buying food to have in the house is probably a good thing. Yeah, if I were to swap that out with some diorite, that might be really cool. We'll get a little bit of... That's just stone. Let's grab some andesite here. Okay, we'll put a little bit of andesite along the sides like that. Okay. All right, so not bad. Not, definitely not done, but significantly better than it was. Okay, now that this hill's been sort of cut away. Yeah, we've got some places. So there's more work to do. We'll deal with that on Tuesday, I think. But otherwise, we're doing okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead. I'm going to duck in the church for a minute, where it's at least mildly safer. And let's go ahead. We're going to call it a day. So that's the wrong button. I want to thank all of you for hanging out with me today. It's been a lot of fun. That hillside's looking nicer. Church is going to fit in better. I want to give a special shout out to my supporters at musicfreegaming.com. If you'd like to help support the channel, that is a great way to do it. Obviously, the best way to support the channel is to subscribe or follow or whatever your platform of choice does. Watch the streams, all that stuff. But if you otherwise, if you'd like to get some cool perks for yourself and support the channel at the same time, musicfreegaming.com is the way to do it. Said next stream will be Tuesday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And until then, be excellent to each other. And this is Music Free Gaming signing off.